Well, friends, Lawless has dropped their very first foundation. We do have the Forget the Filler Skin Plumping Line Smoothing Foundation, and I am here to give you a review. I've been wearing this all week. I purchased it myself, and I have some thoughts. I want to let you know if it's dry skin friendly. Is it skin plumping? Is it line smoothing? Let's just go ahead and dive in. So like I said, this is the first foundation from Lawless Beauty, and the claims are that it's plumping and smoothing and nourishing. I absolutely love their Forget the Filler lip gloss, and I was curious. About this foundation, so I purchased it myself. It is $43. I picked mine up at Sephora, and I do have the shade 2F. Now, as we are getting into the demo, I will tell you a little story about picking this foundation up, but I will say the shades do run a little dark, I feel. I'm not typically in the fair zone. I'm not typically the lightest shade. The fact that I have a 2, I mean, I've had like 3 and 4, but like in Pat McGrath, I'm light 7. You know what I mean? So I think the shades are a little interesting. But let's look at some of the claims of this foundation. It does say that it is full coverage, it's good for anti-aging, natural finish, it is clean at Sephora, hyaluronic acid, and long wearing. So a weightless full coverage, non-acnegenic foundation that instantly blurs, smooths for a second skin finish, proven to reduce the look of fine lines and improve skin's elasticity over time. So I'm going to go ahead and show you myself using this foundation. I want to give you a demo. I'm going to zoom you in. I'm going to tell you about how I've been using it this week, and then I want to come back and share some final thoughts. So let's go ahead and jump into the demo. Okay, so I want to show you the 2 ways that I have been wearing this foundation. This is the Forget the Filler Skin Plumping Line Smoothing Foundation in the shade 2F. I did just shake it a little bit, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it on the left side of my face the way that I normally would. I already primed with my Glow Recipe at Niacinamide Dewdrops and some of the e.l.f. Poreless Putty, the liquid. And what I'm going to do is take a little, probably like a half a pump on my hand, and the way that I would like normally apply foundation is just by putting it directly on the skin. And I'm going to take my Singe sponge. I'm a sponge girl. And I'm going to blend it out. Like I said, I did already prime my face, and I did go in with my Sigma Color Correcting Duo in the shade Light Medium. And I just want to put a layer on its own on this side of my face, so that you can see what it looks like. That's one layer of just the foundation on my skin, like a half a pump. So I'm gonna do a little bit more. It might not have even been a half, it might have been honestly more like a quarter. And we're just gonna build it up a little bit. I want you to see the foundation on its own, but I did find a way that I actually prefer to wear it, which is why I thought it would be helpful for you to see both ways that I've tried this foundation this week. I will say the shade range is kind of awkward. At first I did like in-store pickup, and I got the shade 5L. I'm normally like light neutral, whatever light neutral is, not normally in the fair range, but I ended up getting 5L, and I could see very visibly and clearly that it was the wrong shade for me. So I went in and exchanged it and did some swatches and found that 2L, I was between 2L and 3L. 2L was my shade, but just know, I feel like these almost run a little bit deeper. So this side of my face, you can see I have a little blemish here, but this side of my face has just the foundation, primed, a little bit of that color corrector and foundation. I would say that it's sitting more like a medium coverage. It's very natural. It's not like completely matte, but I feel like it is a little bit mattifying. There's no glow, no dewiness, none of that. Now, I have dry skin, so I like a little glow, I like a little dew, I like a little bit of more of a healthy type of vibe. I like more of like that healthy glow type of vibe. So I am actually going to mix my Work Glow Lust into the Forget the Filler, because I feel like this is not Again, I'm gonna try and do like half a pump. I feel like this is not like the perfect shade for me. It almost is a little bit orange. So this is the shade Morganite. And I'm just going to mix them together on my hand. It does lighten the shade up a little bit. And I'm gonna do the same thing, but on this side of my face, where I am taking a little bit of Fix Plus on my sponge, Dry Skin Life, and we are going to blend it out. Now, I like doing this with foundation, adding a little bit of a subtle glow, because I do like to have a little bit more of a satin finish, a little bit more of a glow on my skin since my skin is so dry. I mean, I live in hot and humid Texas, and like my skin is still so dry. So adding a little bit of this in not only makes the shade a little bit better for me, a little bit more like my skin, just because there's a little bit of an orange tint to it almost, that neutral shade. I don't know if 3L would have been a little better. In the Sephora store, it didn't look better than the Too Fair that I got. But I feel like adding the Auric Glow Lust, you can see here, this is like a once over, don't mind my crazy hair. But there's almost a little bit more of a subtle glow. It doesn't look highlighty, it doesn't look oily, it doesn't look shiny, but here is just the foundation where it's a little bit more of a natural finish, a little bit more mattifying, not quite so satin. And then on this side, there's a little bit more of a glow, a little bit more hydration, and it does lighten it up. I would say this is more like medium coverage, looking like my skin, but this is where we're at right now. So I have really been enjoying mixing the two. So what I'm going to do is, I did want to show you on its own, but I'm gonna go ahead and apply the rest of my makeup, some concealer. I'm gonna apply face products. I'm not going to add any more of the foundation, and I'm not gonna put any Auric Glow Lust on this side because I want you to see the finished product. But here is what we are looking like so far. So jump to more makeup ways. Now, the thing that I will say is, once I have a full face of makeup, like here is my makeup completely finished. I have the full kit and caboodle. Everything is done, full glam today. Looking at my skin, I do not feel like the two sides look very different. We have one side that is just straight the foundation and one side that was mixed with the Auric Glow Lust. And I will say that looking at my skin full on, I don't think that it looks all that different, but to me, there is a little subtle difference. I feel like the side where I have the Auric Glow Lust feels a little bit more comfortable and has a little bit more shine to it, but I mean, I think it's honestly something that only I would notice. Now, as far as some of these claims, full coverage, I would not say that this is a full coverage foundation. I typically don't like full coverage foundations. I have dry skin, I want hydration, I want dewy, I want glowy. I don't feel like this is full coverage. I feel like it's more of a medium coverage, and I would say I probably used about a pump and a half on my whole face, possibly even 2 pumps. But I don't think it's giving me full coverage. Yes, it has a natural finish. I do feel like it is very long wearing. I have been wearing this to work. I have not had any issues of it wearing off or sitting weird. I don't think it's the most comfortable foundation. I don't feel it on my skin right now, but I don't feel like it is the most natural feeling. However, I would agree that it has a more natural finish, almost maybe even a little bit more matte. Not a full matte, more of a medium coverage, but like natural finish. Not quite satin, not giving me luminous and glowy, but not a full dull matte. If you are looking for full coverage though, like that's not normally my preference. I would not say that this is going to give you full coverage. However, I don't have a ton to work with, but like you can see my blemish, you can see some of my freckles, like it's not completely covering everything. Is it line smoothing? I mean, I still see the lines in my face. Is it skin plumping? It doesn't feel like it. I mean, maybe over time. Overall, I feel like this is a good foundation. It's comfortable. It is more of that medium to full coverage. It is giving you a natural finish. If you're someone who likes it to look like your skin, but a little bit more polished, this does a great job of doing that. I don't necessarily feel like it has made my skin feel like it's plumping or smoothing any lines, but it looks pretty on the skin. skin. It looks pretty on the skin. I feel like the shade matches are a little bit weird, and it almost just works better with the Auric for my perfect shade. Like I said, I do have 2F, and I'm normally more of like light neutral. It's not the most comfortable on my dry skin, but it's not the most uncomfortable. I mean, I like it. I don't think it's going to be a favorite. I don't think I'm going to reach for it all of the time, but I don't hate it. I don't hate it, if that makes sense. It's good. If I had to put it in like a love, like, just okay, bad, it's probably in like a like. Like, I like it. It's good. I'm going to continue reaching for it, but I don't love it the way that I love their lip glosses. So I hope that is helpful for you. If you enjoyed this review, I did create a whole playlist of foundations because I really do like playing with foundations and letting you know what works, and I've tried several. So I will have that playlist listed down below if you want to hear my thoughts on some more foundations. But that is going to do it for the Lawless. Let me know if you picked this one up. Let me know what you think of it. But if you are interested in this look here, okay, sorry, my daughter came in, so I don't really know what I was saying, but I think I was saying something along the lines of, if you're interested in this look, I don't know if the palette is released yet, but have no fear, I did film this look here. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you're subscribed before you go. That way I can see you in the next one. Bye.